doesn't say we're live. We're probably live.
Yeah.
Energy back up.
Get the energy back up.
Jumping on the couch. I don't know if we'll have to mute it or not.
Probably. Don't sneak it over. Feedback loop.
We're back in it. Yeah, we're back in it.
Profesh as fuck.
That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to an instant recap. The Chaps Chat Cats. After a massive
watching
victory.
ourselves carry on like idiots on the live replay, right?
Absolutely.
Over the Demons.
In person. First time we've been in person for a while.
Yeah, is this the first 3-man live show we've done this year?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Outstanding work, gents. I'm just sharing the link with the good people on Twitter. So I'll let you guys lead off. I guess, what was it? We had 31 scoring shots to 18. Cats could have won by a lot more. As it is, they go 12-19, 91 to 9-9, 63. Thoughts?
Oh, so many thoughts. My current thought is how stressed I was during the game. And sitting here watching with you lads, I can say that you guys were as well.
Yes, definitely.
But looking back, fuck, that was a hell of an effort. That was like we closed them down, Johnny. I didn't expect this. I didn't expect to look back and kind of go, we could have won that by another 10 goals.
Then we could have easily won it by 60 odd points if we got a Dangerfield kick straighter. Cameron had a pretty easy shot. It was fantastic to see. It was like watching the Cats evolve.
Yes,
out there again, but with new faces.
Yeah, and to be fair, Melbourne obviously, of course, kicks and behinds as well. Yeah. Their kicking wasn't necessarily right the way on, but I think their misses were less egregious than some of ours. Some of our kicking was, especially throughout the first half, or the first 3 quarters, definitely. Our kicking efficiency was down in general, but in front of goal. So, yeah, it was the scoreline is a little similar to what I might have expected, one way or the other. But the fact that we could have smashed them, I think that's a really dominant performance. Oh, yeah. And a lot of our superstars didn't necessarily have the biggest night.
And no Stewart.
No Stewart, no Parfitt. And some of our biggest impact was from Holmes.
Yeah. Holmes and Atkins again played another massive game. Yeah. Some massive moments from Atkins.
Jeremy Cameron didn't even have a big night. And yet, he didn't kick did he kick any goals in the end?
No goals.
No goals. One shot, no goals.
Hawkins only kicked 1 goal himself.
And I think Cameron only had a handful of touches.
But I feel like they were pretty important touches most of the time.
And some really good ones. Smith had another good game.
Just to put some statistical context on it, the Cats win the inside 50, 66 to 46. What else have we got? They lost the hit-outs pretty comfortably, but clearances. That was the big surprise for me. So much talk. I mean, a lot of the sort of doubt and worry from Cats fans has been, I don't know if we've got the midfield to go with the best teams. They've beaten the Doggies, who have a great midfield. They've beaten the Tigers, whose midfield is up and about. They beat now the reigning champs, who are meant to have the best midfield, 54 to 36.
Yeah, and with the greatest player to ever play in a
absolutely hands down.
Absolutely.
No question.
16 to 8 in centre clearances, 38 to 28 around the ground. They lost the contested possession, but they weren't didn't have their pants pulled down over it.
But I think a lot of that contested possession was in Melbourne's back.
Yeah, and as I was saying earlier, while we're watching the game, it may have gone a lot of contested possessions, but what are they doing with it?
Yeah,
are they actually using it effectively? And they weren't really. They were getting it, handballing it to another player that was under immense pressure. But once they did get it out, they did look good, Melbourne.
Yeah.
But I also felt like the Cats' defence was so well set up.
Yeah.
The structure.
Yeah. And we knew that this was our rhetoric before the game was kind of that, our midfield might not hold up what the defence will. And the defence did, but so did the midfield. So the defence never felt that shaky or that threatened. And it's only a couple of times I can remember Melbourne getting more than 3 or 4 disposals sprung together. That streaking through the middle, classic Melbourne bombing the 50 kind of assault just didn't really get off the ground.
No, they couldn't. They just didn't have that freedom that other teams let them, like Brisbane. It wasn't like they were playing against Brisbane, and the limpness that Brisbane showed was nowhere here at the Cats. I think that's what they were expecting. I think they was expecting a bit of a fight from the Cats, but not actually show them up and play at a level that was better than what they were able to produce. So incredible.
Were you sort of surprised at how much we suffocated them, given that we're missing Stewart? Like, I thought part of the write-up we did for Footy Live was that this was going to be the challenging game. Like, you know, we talked about this was going to be the exam. Geelong had all their practice exams, their practice tests along the way. This is the big one. The midfield's going to be tested. The back line's going to be tested. The forward line's going to be tested. Fairness to Melbourne, they actually covered our forwards pretty well. Like,
very well.
Stengel got one in the end, did he?
Yeah.
So 2 goals was it between Stengel, Hawkins, and Cameron?
Yeah, and Rowan got 2.
And so you kind of go, like, fairness to Melbourne, they actually played the back line pretty well. Like, they made us look pretty ineffective going inside.
It was almost the flip to what I expected.
Yeah,
absolutely. To be them peppering us and our defence holding strong.
But Fox Footy's just put their player of the match up, and it's Patrick Dangerfield.
It's Dangerfield.
Dangerfield is the player of the match.
Dangerfield.
Patrick.
0 and 4. Dangerfield.
0 and 5.
5 in the end. Did that one make the distance? Did it? That last shot.
It might have been shut through, but still, he still had a shot.
Yeah, shit. All right. I'll disagree. I'm not going to shit on Dangerfield. This is a Cats pod. We love all the Cats.
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of his touches were low impact. Interesting choice. I'm just glad they didn't give it to Clayton Oliver. Because I wouldn't have been surprised. Wouldn't have been surprised at all. He's a name that, Dangerfield's a name they love to bring up, so I guess that's part of it. But
it's a big name in the footy, but
in the
football world,
I was just trying to have a look at Adkins' stats. So
give us some stats.
I'll give you the stats. So Adkins 21 touches, so not like the most of the footy. 16 kicks, 5 hand passes. Just gonna have a look. 9 tackles. That was game high. 9 clearances, which is the
career high.
Yeah, career high and equal game high for the Cats. 447 meters gained, and he only spent 69% of the time on the ground.
Jesus.
So, like, he's done a lot of work in a little time.
Impressive.
10 of his possessions were contested. He won 2 free kicks, only gave away the 1. 5 inside 50s. I just feel like you can't take him out of the middle now, can you? Like,
no way.
He's earned his spot.
Yeah. I think Parfitt's got a bit of a challenge, but I tell you what, I think Parfitt will find his way back in quite easily. But it's good to know that we've got a cover for Dangerfield and Selwood now, in Atkins and Parfitt and Guthrie as well, who's still probably go around for a bit longer. But it's good to know that these young guys are stepping up really well, which a lot of the young guys did tonight.
Yeah,
it wasn't Selwood winning the game for us. It wasn't Paddy Dangerfield. It wasn't Hawkins. It was Holmes who was winning the game. Stengel winning the game, and Henry doing a lot. Zach Guthrie as well.
Yes,
I think he probably had a bit of a quieter night, but that could also be because he didn't get down to Melbourne.
Yeah, he made himself known, and I thought Henry did really well, specifically in the sort of the early and mid parts of the game.
Definitely.
When he was actually tested, I thought he took some really important possessions and some great spoils. I think our pressure overall was great. Like, the amount of touch balls, like it was incredible. The amount of time we smothered, spoiled. Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Do you think? I mean, as an instant reaction, my instant reaction is like, this is not really what I expected it to look like. Like, if I think there was maybe 2 patches in the game where I thought, they looked really sort of dangerous, where I was like, oh shit. But those patches were really brief. Like, they were the total anomaly. Like, I thought for a good 80% of that game, I felt pretty comfortable with how Geelong played. Absolutely. It's really not how I expected it to go. Patrick in the comments saying Atkins has been huge the last month. He absolutely has. He's
absolutely
massive.
Yeah, huge. And I mean, as we said before, we've been on the Atkins train for a long time, but even I did not expect him to ever reach these heights.
No.
I was quite happy with the input that he was having. I thought he was an important part of the squad, but now he's like a he's vying for man of the match every fucking game.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There was a bit of a worry on him last year, the way he ended the year with that sort of injury. I was like, oh, is he ever going to get back to what he was able to do? But so he's just gotten better and better.
Yeah, between him and Parfitt, you don't feel so bad about Selwood being so close to retiring.
No, not at all.
What do you think? I thought Cam Guthrie's night was really good.
Yep.
Kicked 2 goals, had plenty of the ball.
Really important goal as well.
A lot of pressure.
Yep.
A lot of pressure acts, I thought. There's not a lot of people I would fault, even with the things I would fault, which is mostly just the kicking accuracy. That was kind of across the board for a lot of the game. And so everything beside the kicking, I think it was a pretty peak Cats performance. I don't think we've seen much better.
No, the only one that could rival this game would be the Richmond game.
Yeah.
Again, this one will be slightly better because it was against the benchmark team, the team that was meant to go undefeated.
Yeah, and it's nice to have 2 of your best performances of recent memory so close together.
Absolutely.
It's a nice indicator of form. And of course, the one against North, sandwich in the middle doesn't hurt.
Do you think they're tougher?
No. Absolutely.
Yes. Cats, mentally, physically,
everything.
Yeah, in all respects, they don't. And we've seen this when there was some calls going against us. There was a few dodgy calls. There was some quick pile-on goals from Melbourne, and we sort of made the comment during the game that the Cats can't let it get on top of themselves. Last season, that gets on top of them. Yeah. That snowballs, piles on.
Even then,
they get rash. They make bad decisions.
Petrarca goal in that last quarter to get it back within 7 points.
Yeah,
that was, I felt like a tipping point. It's like, are we going to be able to get this goal back easily, or we're just going to fold and let them get back in and get another goal and be a point? But then Guthrie stood up. Stanley stood up.
Yeah.
Selwood again stood up as he always does, and it was just that mental toughness and willing to not let this one slip again.
Yeah, didn't get sucked into the mind games and let it get on top of ourselves. So I think definitely physically tougher, but yes, certainly the mental fortitude is increased tenfold, I think, since last year.
So what are we, 2 games into the month without Tommy Stewart? We're 2-0.
Yep. That's a good return.
It's good.
Yeah.
A favourable run home, and we've now won a couple that were questionable.
Yeah.
So it gives us a little bit of easing of some anxiety, because there's some of those, if there's more questionable ones coming up, we've already won 2 of them. So that's really good.
The next questionable one will be next week against Carlton, but so if they play like they did against Melbourne next week against Carlton, I think too many worries.
Yeah, I'd back us for sure.
Do you think too, like we talked about last year, I think we talked about it on our preliminary final wake, about the need for some young guys not to just be given an opportunity, but to earn their opportunity and earn their spot during the off season, to put in the hard work to force their way into the team, because we needed some of those players trying to, I suppose, earn their spot, and that sort of competition drives the side. It really feels like we've got that nice blend of experienced and youth with Max Holmes, with Tyson Stengel, with who else was I thinking? SDK, Close, Zach Guthrie, Tom Adkins,
Myers too. Myers had it wasn't a consistent game, but he had some really important input in the first half.
Even just adding a bit of pressure to a kick, some good kicks on his own behalf. Yeah, it was just, I feel like that's a game you want to see from Brian Myers at this point in his career. Nothing spectacular. You don't want him trying to go for those freaky stuff. You just want him to do what he's doing at the moment. Yeah. And then he can build on that.
Yeah, for sure.
I think that's the part of his game that probably actually does get a tick, is his toughness. I think he is actually quite a tough player. He's a good overhead mark for his size.
Yeah.
Any other sort of thoughts before we get the hell out of here tonight?
No, just what a win. What a win. We got into the analysis so quick, but it's going to take a little while to settle in. I was so nervous about the game for the whole game. Those last 5 minutes still haven't sunk in. We celebrated harder about some of the goals than we did about the final side. It just didn't feel like it had happened.
That was it. Stengel who kicked. Hawkins kicked a nice one around the corner. I'm trying to think who kicked the last sort of one where you felt like
Duncan.
Duncan put the nail in the coffin, and It was
I
funny,
think
like
Smith kicked one as well.
Smith kicked one.
they looked like they were there
Well, it's only the
for
third
the
quarter.
taking,
Yes.
Melbourne,
Yeah.
and you were just waiting for the Cats to do
Again,
it. And
if our kicking was on, we could have absolutely embarrassed.
Because there wasn't like a lot of shots where you're like, well, that's an impossible one, and he just missed. Like, there's probably out of those 19 behind, there was probably 10.
10.
They'd back themselves to kick 10 times out of 10.
Patrick Dangerfield's 4 should have all been goals. Even Stengel's first shot.
Yeah.
Could have been
Fuck,
one.
boys, what a win.
Patrick again?
Patrick, have we been given a GMHBA or Cardinia final if we finish first or second? Well, no.
I don't think. I think if we played an interstate opponent, I guess that what probably plays against us is the fact that we've got renovation.
Just my dog in the background.
Yeah, cough home football. I think
that was down in Melbourne choking.
Yeah, I think. Don't you think that probably counts against us?
I think, and also the redevelopment. Like,
yeah, that's what I mean. The renovation there.
But yeah, definitely would love to see more home games for the Cats at the home game.
If we
home
could
ground and finals, they deserve it.
If we could pick, right, if Melbourne finishes like second or whatever, so they get to host the final and we finish first, for instance, choose Marvel.
Yeah.
If you could,
Absolutely.
Melbourne hosts theirs at the MCG, we host ours at Marvel, or would you prefer to just play it on the G?
No, I prefer. I think we line up well at Marvel. I think it's closer to feeling like a home game than
open the roof up as well.
So I'd probably go Marvel, but obviously the preference would be GMHBA or Cardinia Park. But it's going to be a couple of years before I think they're going to give us that.
Even after the redevelopment's done, I think we'll
still have a
better chance. Like, well, I think if like this year, if you finished first and the redevelopment was done, if you played Sydney or Brisbane,
they'd have to seriously consider it.
Because we have had home finals against interstate teams. We had one against Freo a few years ago. We actually lost that.
And that's what people bring up. It's like, oh, you got a home final, you still lost.
It's not
about losing it. It doesn't matter if you lose it. Anyone can lose a final at their home. It doesn't matter. It's the fact that we finish in the top 4 to get a home final. Give yourself a chance at getting a home final.
All right.
Thanks for the questions, though, Patrick.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Love to have you on.
Rock on. Hope you enjoyed the evening. We'll be back on Monday. God, it's going to feel like a while.
It will.
Thursday night to to Monday night.
Yeah.
Feels like a little while. Well, we'll put together an episode, though, recapping in full the Cats and the Demons. We'll have another episode out, I think, next Wednesday. The AFLW draft recap. We got to speak with Peter Williams from Rookie Me Central about the players that the Cats drafted.
Go look them up.
To the AFLW team. So we'll be back in your ear holes in the not too distant future. Until then, enjoy your weekend and go the Cats. Now we're just going to have that awkward 5 minutes while we try and end the Zoom meeting.
Right, while we figure that out. What's your favourite goal, Jake? Favourite goal of the game?
Probably Adkins sinking his set shot.
Nice. Yeah.
Yep. Beautiful.
Yeah.